right?
That's right. You know, I mean, I think most people have the sense that, oh, you get out of prison, life is hard, but if you really work at it, you know, you can pull yourself up by the
bootstraps. It's almost impossible.
It absolutely is. For the rest of your life, you got to check that box on employment applications. Fortunately, here in California, that box on employment applications has been banned on state employment applications, which is a huge victory.
People should remember the two statistics that are in your book that are amazing. One is that we have the #1, USA, we're #1, not another thing to be proud of, percentage of people we throw into prison.
Yes.
Nobody in the world throws more of their own citizens into prison.
We have a penal system unprecedented in world history.
Right. And highest percentage of minorities of anybody in the world that we imprison. That's really saying something when you think about some of the crazy, fucked up shit that people around the world think.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's decimated entire communities. I mean, that's the thing. You go into some of these neighborhoods where the drug war has been waged with greatest ferocity. And again, you know, for anyone who doesn't know, people of color are no more likely to use or sell illegal drugs than whites. In fact, white youth are more likely to use.
That's not true at my house, but I will concede the point.
It is true. I mean, all of the research for decades have shown that it's just the truth, but it's been waged almost exclusively in poor communities of color, and then you wind up with whole neighborhoods that, you know, can't vote, can't get jobs, can't work.
Can't change things. Yeah, but here's what you're up against. Ted Nugent, who called Obama a subhuman mongrel, said, okay, I said it, but it's not racist. He does not think that's racist. He said, I called the first black person a subhuman mongrel. Why are you playing the race card? Then this guy, Michael Dunn, the guy who shot Jordan Davis in Florida and got convicted this week of some stuff, he thinks he's the victim. George Zimmerman thinks he's the victim. How do you deal with that when the people who are plainly not the victims think they're the victims?
Well, that's, you know, the unfortunate reality today, you know, and it's easy to demonize someone like George Zimmerman or Ted Nugent. But, you know, the reality is that this mindset, you know, Michael Dunn, George Zimmerman, this mindset that, you know, young black men in particular are violent, dangerous, a menace to society, and we must deal with them harshly.
That's really what the Stand Your Ground law is about, isn't it? I mean, it's really about, I am so afraid of the black people, I just need to shoot them before they do anything.
That's exactly right, but that mindset has infected our entire criminal justice system. It's not just about these individuals.
Right. And this jury, they did not convict him of murder. They convicted him of second-degree attempted murder. I'm not a lawyer, but when your attempted murder is successful, isn't that murder and not attempted murder?
Yes,
I would think so. Okay.
Yeah.
So you use the word colorblind, you know, a little tongue-in-cheek there, because I think it's another great point you make, that colorblind is not necessarily a good thing yet in America, right?
No, I mean, this is an era where we all profess to be colorblind, and we hold colorblindness as this ideal, something we should be striving for, but in many ways, colorblindness is the problem. Being blind to the suffering of, you know, people of other races, being blind to discrimination, being blind to bigotry, that is a big part of the problem. So I would hope we wouldn't aim for more blindness. I would hope that we'd be willing to see each other and actually care about one another as we are, and be able to acknowledge our differences.
And I think another great point you make is that a lot of bias is by omission, not commission. And we saw a little bit of that this week. Brian Williams on NBC News had to apologize to Arsenio Hall because he was doing a story about how Jimmy Fallon is joining this crowded...
It's likely to be met with a lot of defensiveness and anger, and how could you say that? And, you know, the reality is we're all infected with some unconscious bias. We all hold stereotypes. It may not mean to be racist or biased or sexist, but it's within us. And so when someone says, I think this was biased, or this was an oversight that appeared to be based on bias, instead of reacting defensively to say, oh, maybe it was, and I'm sorry. Oh, that, I think, would be a nice model for us as a nation in handling...
Well, hopefully we'll get there. It's a great book. Thank you for joining us and enlightening us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, let's meet our panel.